Good evening, Telemundo Facebook Live friends. I am attorney Alma Rosa Nieto. I'm an immigration attorney. I've been practicing for 33 years, exclusively immigration law. This new forum, which we've had for 6 months now on Thursdays on Facebook Live en Español. So we're now our interest, our intent is to give as much information about immigration to both English-speaking people as well as Spanish-speaking. So on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 4 p.m. West Coast time, 7 p.m. East Coast time, and on Thursdays at 7 p.m. West Coast time, 10 p.m. East Coast time, we will be performing or having these Facebook Lives for 30 minutes. And our purpose, again, it's not a political debate. If you're on one side to the right or to the left of the spectrum politically, this is if you care about someone that is in this country, either with a green card or is not documented yet, or is a dreamer and is nervous and anxious with all the changes that are occurring under the new administration. This is where you can ask your questions. I'll also be giving mini news for the week. There's so much happening right now in the realm of immigration law, not only by the administration, by Congress, by the court systems. There's just change all the time in immigration. So hopefully this can be your source of reliable immigration information by a practitioner in the field of immigration law with over 3 decades of experience. My interest and my intent is to educate, to clarify, to explain processes, to answer your many questions, also to take suggestions on many topics that may be of interest to you that perhaps I'm not covering and you'd like to know more about. Today I will be covering a couple topics, maybe 2 or 3, as well as answering some of your Facebook questions live in English. And please share that this forum is now available for English-speaking people that have interests and have a love and affection for someone that needs immigration information. So if maybe you're watching and you know your employer might want to know this, co-workers, family members, your friends at school, please share that this is a new forum, and my interest is to give you as much information as possible and also to give you some peace of mind. There's so much going on in the field of immigration, as I said earlier, and some of it is information that frightens us, that scares us, that we're losing sleep over, that maybe your parents that may be not documented in this country are losing sleep over. And hopefully this forum can be somewhere where you can go and get answers and feel a little safer, or feel that the information that you're hearing outside is not as bad as maybe they're making it seem. So I'm here to try and attempt to do that. I need your feedback. So please send your questions, and also know that if I don't get to them in that particular Facebook Live, we're going to save many of them. And the ones that are of interest, or the ones that are very repetitive, we'll probably combine into one and answer the questions in a global fashion to help you. So it's my pleasure, my honor to be assisting you here on Facebook Live in English every Tuesday. And again, please spread the word. We have to have numbers. If you're not there, obviously I won't be here, and I'm hoping that this is as successful as the Spanish version. The Spanish version, we've reached up to 2 million viewers. Our average is 1 million, and we reach hundreds of thousands live. And we hope that the numbers are as good in English, if not better. And it depends on you sharing that this information is available for you, your loved ones, your family, and friends. Well, let's go to the questions.
So much. The first question is, how can a son or daughter who is a citizen help their undocumented parent?
Very excellent question, because there's so many myths out there. People talk, you'll hear things on the radio, you'll hear things on TV, you'll hear even other friends that maybe have gotten a green card for their parents, and it may not apply to your particular case. So very important, before I even start explaining that, this is general information, hopefully enough to tickle your interest to maybe go and have a consultation with an immigration attorney. Where can you go to do this? You can go to AILA.org. It's the American Immigration Lawyers Association. It's a not-for-profit or a non-profit organization nationally of immigration attorneys. You plug in your zip code and they'll give you a list of attorneys in your area that you can consult in person or via phone or Skype and get information on your particular case. Now, If you're a citizen and you're watching me and maybe one or two of your parents are not documented in the United States, they're living here, or maybe you came here and you studied, you married someone, you got your green card, then you became a citizen by naturalization, your parents are back home and you'd like to reunite with them, you'd like to bring them into the United States. Well, there are a few processes. If they're back home, you file an application. The application form is the I-130. You file it with immigration. It takes approximately a year to process the case. And your parents would go to the American embassy in whatever part of the world they live in. They'd go for an interview and you would be able to get them a green card. You must be a citizen by birth or naturalization, and you must be over the age of 21. So if you're watching and you're 18, unfortunately, you cannot petition for your parents until you turn 21. Now, the other side of that coin is, what if your parents are here in the United States? Maybe they entered with a visa, a tourist visa, a student visa, humanitarian visa, a work visa, and it's expired. Now they're out of status and they're still here, and you want them to stay legally. Again, you must be over 21, you must be a citizen. If you only have a green card, you cannot help them. You have to be a United States citizen, again, by birth or naturalization. Now, the process is tricky. If they came in legally, you can create or you can perform a process that's called an adjustment of status. That means they adjust from whatever visa they came into. Even though they're out of status now, they could have come 10 years ago and they've been out of status for 9 years, you can still adjust them and get them a green card in the United States. The process is not very complicated and it only takes 6 months. Your parents don't have to leave the country and they can immigrate here. But they have to have entered with a legal visa. They have to have a stamp on their passport and a visa that allowed them to enter. Flip side of that is, what if your parents came in here but they came undocumented? They were never inspected, they didn't have a visa, they came into the United States and they've been here for a long time. There are only a few exceptions for you as a U.S. citizen to be able to immigrate them here in the United States. There are 3. If they came in legally, you can immigrate them here. If you are in the military or you're going to join the military, you can get parole in place, and that is a process whereby it will allow them to immigrate in the United States because you're serving this country. Or if they have a protection of this law, I'm going to give you a number because that's what it's called. It's called 245I. You can Google it. This is a law that ended many years ago, in 2001, to be exact, April 30th of 2001. So if your parents maybe were petitioned by a boss, maybe through the company they were working at, or a U.S. citizen brother, or somebody else petitioned them to get a green card, but they never finished the process. Something happened, it got stuck somewhere along the line, but it was filed April 30th of 2001 or before, they have a protection called 245I. What does that mean? It means that they can pay a fine of $1,000 and immigrate in the United States even though they didn't come in legally or you're not in the military. So it's a little complicated, but you should get advice from a lawyer in your particular case to see if they are eligible to immigrate in the United States. Why do we want them to immigrate in the United States? It's faster, 6 months. It's less expensive, less risky than sending them out to their home country to risk not being able to come back in. So by all means, we should try to immigrate someone in the U.S. if they're eligible. Now, what if they came in undocumented? You're not in the military, you are over 21, they didn't get petitioned in 2001, and they don't have the protection of 245I. Then if you petition for them, please listen to this very carefully, because there are a lot of unscrupulous people out there, notary publics that say they're lawyers, and even lawyers that unfortunately, to make a buck, will tell you as a citizen, oh yeah, you can immigrate your parents, you're over 21, you're a citizen, but your parents have to go back home. There are changes in the laws, and now they will punish your parents. Let's just assume they're from Costa Rica and they've lived here undocumented. You file for them. They don't qualify to immigrate in the U.S. The embassy for the United States in Costa Rica says, tell your parents to come. They have an interview to get the green card. You're excited. They're excited. They go. They travel to Costa Rica, to San Jose, the capital. They go to the American embassy, and the consul will say, check, you have a U.S. citizen son or daughter who's over 21, you make enough money, you're not going to be a public charge, you don't have communicable diseases, you've been a good citizen, you don't have any crimes, everything checks. However, you've lived in the United States for more than a year, you have a punishment. You must stay in Costa Rica for 10 years. That is the bar. And guess what? There is no waiver. There is no pardon. So if your parents entered illegally and you want to petition for them, please don't harm them, don't hurt them. Seek legal advice from an immigration attorney with experience and that is trustworthy, and maybe request 2 opinions. Just like a doctor, they give you bad news, you don't just go with that one, you go and you get a second opinion. Get a second opinion with an immigration lawyer to see if it behooves you to petition for your parents and them go abroad. There's some exceptions, but they're very technical. But basically, this is a long response to a question, but it merited so much information because there's so much information that is given outside that is incorrect. And I've heard of many parents of U.S. citizens that are outside paying their 10-year punishment, and they've been out 5 years, they've been out 9, and they're counting the days so that they can come back and reunite with their family. And that was done because of lack of proper legal advice, because either the U.S. citizen says, oh, these forms are easy, I could fill them out, not a problem, I'm just going to fill it out, and then when the interview goes, my parents go out, without understanding the many nuances and repercussions that exist in immigration law. Immigration law has been equated to, the complexity of immigration law has been equated to tax law. That's how complicated it is, and tax law is highly complicated. So immigration law not only is complicated, but it changes all the time. So before you decide to go to an immigration interview, to file something, to send your parents out of the country, seek legal advice.
What are the changes being made to green cards? Can you provide us with more information?
Yes, as of May 1st, 2017, if you have a green card, maybe you've been here since you were 2 and you still have a green card, maybe it's pink, maybe it's yellow, maybe it's beige, maybe it is green because they're the old ones. They're going to change. As of May 1st, 2017, immigration has said they're going to issue new cards. They're going to be green. And work authorizations, maybe you're a dreamer, maybe you have DACA, and your card is of the older version. As of May 1st, there'll be new cards. Don't panic. You don't have to change your existing cards. Just because May 1st rolls around, you don't have to go and spend money and change it. You can have it live the life that it has on its face. So you can wait till the expiration date and then apply for a new one. And when you get the new one, it'll be completely different. It'll be green on its face for a green card, and it'll be red on its face for a work authorization. So that's the new information that I have to share in this mini news segment. The reason immigration is giving is they want to make them more fraud or tamper-proof, more fraud preventive. They're going to have a picture in the front and in the back. They're going to have a lot of information and coding that apparently will inhibit the duplication or the fraudulent duplication of these cards. And if you lose it, you won't be in trouble because somebody's using it in a fraudulent way because they're fraud proof or they're higher in fraud prevention. So that's the reason why they're changing the cards. Last piece of news is, if you are a green card holder, and I know many people speak only English and they've been here since they were kids and they have a green card and they've never wanted to file for citizenship, I strongly encourage you naturalize. And some people say, well, I just can't afford to naturalize. The fee is $700+. It's too much money. Well, now you can apply for citizenship and pay the fee to immigration with a credit card. Yes, that means you can finance the immigration fee on your credit card. There's a form you have to fill out. And it's a form that is just new. You can download it. It's called the G1450, and it gets all your credit card information. You attach it with the application for becoming a citizen, and immigration will charge the fee in its entirety, but you will pay on your credit card slowly, so this way it is more affordable. So that's the mini news for the week. I strongly, again, recommend, request that you share this information, that you share that this is a new venue, that Tuesdays in English, Thursdays in Spanish. You're welcome to join us for either or if you're bilingual. If you know friends that only speak English and they have loved ones that are not documented in the country, or they have a green card and they want to become a citizen, or they're citizens and they want to petition for family members, this is the place to get free legal information, generalized of course, but at least I'll give you maybe a map, a strategy to begin with that you can take then to a lawyer, now knowing and saying, wait a minute, I know I can do this and I know I can't do this. I know this should cost this amount and you're charging me triple. So hopefully give you information that is bite-sized and that helps you so that you can be a better advocate for your own case and not be a victim of fraud and do things correctly from the get-go. My name is Alma Rosa Nieto, immigration attorney. Please share this information and we'll see you next Tuesday at 4 o'clock West Coast time, 7 o'clock East Coast time. Bye.